Behind every Hollywood star is a story that audiences rarely get to see. Beyond the glamour awards and unforgettable moments on screen, they also experience relationships, personal choices, and challenges in their private lives. In today's video, we'll explore the famous marriages of Hollywood icons and uncover what was really happening behind their public image. What do you think makes a marriage last? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the fascinating stories coming next. Before becoming known as the wife of one of Hollywood's most famous actors, Barry Berenson had already established her own place in the world of art. Born into a family with a strong creative background, she began her career in fashion as a model before becoming a respected photographer. With a refined artistic eye and a talent for capturing authentic moments of human emotion, Barry built her own successful path rather than simply living in the shadow of someone else's fame.
I had always had a crush on Tony ever since I was...
From having seen my pictures.
Yeah.
In 1972, Barry met Anthony Perkins, the internationally acclaimed actor best known for his iconic role as Norman Bates in the classic film Psycho. Their meeting quickly developed into a deep and meaningful relationship. The couple married in 1973 and went on to build a family together over the following decades. To the public, they were a private, artistic couple who stayed away from the typical controversies and attention often associated with Hollywood. Their marriage took place during a time when many entertainers faced intense pressure from the media and public scrutiny. Hollywood in the 1970s and 1980s was still shaped by many social stigmas, leading numerous public figures to keep certain aspects of their personal lives private. During that era, Barry became an important source of support for Perkins, standing by his side as he navigated changes in both his career and personal life. In 1992, Anthony Perkins publicly revealed that he had been diagnosed with HIV, a revelation that attracted significant attention at the time. Barry remained by her husband's side throughout his final years, supporting him during his treatment and helping care for their family. Anthony Perkins passed away in 1992 at the age of 60, leaving behind a remarkable cinematic legacy and a reputation as an actor who made a lasting impact on screen. After her husband's death, Barry continued to live according to her own values and devoted herself to raising their two sons. However, her own life came to a tragic end when she was among the passengers killed in the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks aboard American Airlines Flight 11. Looking back on Barry Berenson's journey, her story is not defined solely by her famous marriage, but also by the image of a woman with her own career individuality and important role during a time of great change. Alongside Anthony Perkins, she was not simply known as the wife of a movie star, but as an artist who created her own legacy through her talent and dedication. On the Broadway stage, few performers possessed the unique energy and presence of Carol Channing. With her distinctive voice, radiant smile, and captivating performance style, she became an icon of American theater, especially through her legendary role as Dolly Levi in the musical Hello, Dolly. However, behind the image of an artist who always appeared full of life was a personal journey marked by many changes. In 1956, Carol Channing married Charles Lowe, who later became not only her husband, but also took on the role of managing her career.
And he had one of those long-toothed accents, you know, the piece between his two front teeth. And he said, I told him when I...
For many years, Lowe supported Channing by helping organize her schedule, professional commitments, and activities related to her performing career. To the public, they were seen as a devoted couple who remained together through the many changes of the entertainment world. Over the decades, Carol Channing and Charles Lowe maintained a relatively private life. As Channing continued to achieve success on stage, Lowe remained behind the scenes, helping her maintain stability in a profession that demanded constant dedication and commitment. However, over time, differences in their personal lives gradually became a challenge in their relationship. In 1998, after more than 40 years of marriage, Carol Channing decided to file for divorce. The news attracted attention because it marked one of the rare public changes in the personal life of a long-time Broadway legend. Later, Channing revealed that the marriage had experienced emotional distance during its final years. She also raised questions regarding certain financial matters and the management role Charles Lowe had played in her career. Although the marriage did not end as they had hoped, Carol Channing continued to be remembered for her remarkable contributions to American performing arts. She was not only a Broadway star, but also an influential artist whose legacy continued across generations. Her story shows that even the most famous figures must face changes and challenges in their personal relationships. Behind the stage lights, they are still individuals with their own choices, emotions, and life journeys. If you enjoy stories behind the glamour of Hollywood and want to discover more about the lives of legendary figures, take a moment to like this video and support our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next fascinating stories. What do you think about Carol Channing's journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. In the history of British cinema and Hollywood, Elsa Lanchester and Charles Laughton were one of the most unique couples. They were not the familiar image of romantic love often seen on screen, but they created a relationship that lasted for more than 3 decades, built on respect, friendship, and artistic companionship. Elsa Lanchester was born in England and began her career in the performing arts before entering Hollywood. She became known for her versatile acting ability, especially through her role as the Bride of Frankenstein in the 1935 film Bride of Frankenstein. Charles Laughton was also one of the most talented actors of his generation, winning an Academy Award for his performance in The Private Life of Henry VIII. The two met in London's theater scene during the 1920s and married in 1929. After moving to Hollywood, they became a well-known artistic couple who attracted public attention. However, their marriage was far different from the traditional love stories audiences often saw among movie stars.
Strangling you with one of your own rubber tubes. I would then have admitted. My lord, members of the jury.
According to their later reflections, Laughton and Lanchester maintained a relationship built largely on friendship, trust, and a strong emotional connection. They worked together on various artistic projects and always showed respect for each other's talents. In the social environment of the early 20th century, the private lives of performers often received intense public attention. Therefore, maintaining a stable personal life over many years was not an easy task. Lanchester and Laughton chose to protect their relationship in their own way, rather than follow the expectations and standards set by society.
Phlegmatic. Have you noticed the nastiest of tyrants are invariably thin?
Of your vices, you are the most generous Roman of our time.
Vices?
Charles Laughton passed away in 1962, bringing an end to their 33-year marriage. Afterward, Elsa Lanchester continued her artistic career and appeared in many different productions throughout her later years. The story of Elsa Lanchester and Charles Laughton is not simply about right or wrong, but an example of how every relationship has its own unique circumstances. During the golden age of Hollywood, when public image had a major influence on personal lives, they created a different but lasting bond in their own way. In 1960, millions of people around the world watched the wedding of Princess Margaret and photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones. It was a remarkable event for the British royal family, as Margaret became the first royal in centuries to marry someone without an aristocratic background. The image of the young princess marrying a talented artist was widely seen as a symbol of change and modernization. Anthony Armstrong Jones, who was later given the title Earl of Snowdon, was a prominent photographer in Britain's artistic community. He was known for his creative spirit, independent lifestyle, and close connections with artists, designers, and well-known public figures. At first, the contrast between his unconventional world and the traditional environment of the royal family was part of what made their relationship so captivating. For Princess Margaret, her marriage to Snowdon came after a period of intense pressure in her personal life. Her earlier relationship with Group Captain Peter Townsend had attracted widespread attention but faced major obstacles because of royal rules and expectations at the time. Therefore, their wedding in 1960 was seen as a new chapter in Margaret's life. However, after the early years of their marriage, differences in personality, lifestyle, and public responsibilities gradually created distance between them. Margaret had to balance her role as a member of the royal family with her desire for a more independent and private life, while Snowdon continued pursuing the artistic world that often contrasted with the traditions and expectations of the palace. During the 1960s and 1970s, the British media became increasingly interested in the private lives of royal family members. The marriage between Margaret and Snowdon frequently appeared in newspapers, causing their personal struggles to become a subject of public attention. In 1978, the couple officially divorced, marking one of the most closely followed royal separations of the 20th century. Despite this, both continued to make their own contributions in their respective fields. Margaret was remembered as a strong-willed and distinctive figure within the British royal family, while Snowdon was highly regarded for his lasting influence on photography and the arts. For many American television viewers, Amanda Blake will always be remembered for her role as Miss Kitty Russell in the classic Western series Gunsmoke. The character made her one of the most prominent female faces on American television for many years. On screen, Blake portrayed a strong, independent woman who remained confident and in control of every situation. Behind that self-assured image, however, was a personal life marked by many changes. Amanda Blake was married several times, and her final marriage to Mark Spaeth became one of the most significant chapters of her later years. In 1984, Amanda Blake married Mark Spaeth, a businessman and local politician in Texas. By that time, Blake had gradually stepped away from the fast-paced lifestyle of Hollywood and was looking for a more stable life after many years in the entertainment industry. Spaeth was a respected figure in his local community, and their marriage took place during a period when American society still held many different views about the private lives of public figures.
Actually, with a basis, she's just a saloon, folks, you know. It was a...
This made their personal story a subject of public interest in the years that followed. Not long after their marriage, Mark Spaeth's health began to decline significantly. He passed away in 1985, just 1 year after their wedding. His death left Amanda Blake facing a difficult period in her life, especially as she was also dealing with health challenges of her own. Amanda Blake passed away in 1989 at the age of 60. In her final years, she was remembered not only for her iconic role as Miss Kitty, but also for her dedication to animal welfare and her contributions to protecting animals. She was a passionate advocate for animal protection and played an important role in raising public awareness about animal welfare issues. Looking back on Amanda Blake's life, her story shows that behind every television icon was a person with a deeply personal journey of her own. Her success on screen was only one part of her legacy, while her life away from the spotlight was also filled with personal choices, challenges, and experiences that the public rarely saw. Before moving on to the next story, we would love to hear your thoughts. How do you view the lives of Hollywood stars beyond the spotlight and fame? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you want to continue exploring more memorable stories about legendary figures in film and television, support our channel by giving this video a like, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you can join us for more fascinating stories. Before becoming one of the greatest icons in American cinema, Judy Garland was a remarkable talent who was discovered at a very young age. With her extraordinary voice, natural acting ability, and her unforgettable portrayal of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she quickly became one of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's most important stars. However, behind that fame was a childhood and early career heavily shaped by the studio system of Hollywood's golden age. Film studios not only controlled the artists' work schedules, but also had a major influence on the public image they presented to the world. Judy Garland grew up in an environment where fame was always accompanied by enormous expectations and constant pressure. In 1945, Judy Garland married director Vincente Minnelli, who had previously worked with her on the film Meet Me in St. Louis. Their relationship was initially seen as a union between two remarkable creative talents in Hollywood. Minnelli was known for his distinctive directorial style, while Garland was at the height of her career and becoming one of the industry's most celebrated stars.
And I would wait and...
The marriage attracted significant media attention because both of them were influential figures in the film industry. They shared a passion for the arts and were once regarded as one of Hollywood's most notable couples of the 1940s. However, over time, differences in their personal lives and the pressures of their careers created challenges in their relationship. Judy Garland was already dealing with demanding work schedules and the immense pressure of maintaining the image of a leading Hollywood star.
No one, I think, receives more intense reaction, brings emotions to such a high pitch as Judy Garland when she performs.
Judy and Vincente Minnelli divorced in 1951. Although their marriage came to an end, both continued to make important contributions to the film industry. Garland carried on with her performing career and created many memorable moments, while Minnelli came to be recognized as one of the most talented directors of classic Hollywood. Judy Garland's life later went through many changes, with periods of great success intertwined with personal challenges.
If I only had a brain, would you do that for me? Come on.
Are you kidding?
No, please.
Thanks, no.
Come on, darling.
How about it? Help me.
However, what Judy Garland is remembered for most is her extraordinary artistic talent and her unique ability to connect emotionally with audiences. Her story is not only about a famous Hollywood star, but also about the journey of an artist who had to find a balance between the spotlight public expectations and her own personal life. She left behind a timeless legacy, proving that behind every Hollywood icon is a real person with genuine experiences and a deeply human story. Before becoming the beloved maternal figure recognized by millions of American television viewers through her role as Edna Garrett on The Facts of Life, Charlotte Rae had already built a long and respected artistic career on Broadway. She was highly regarded as an actress for her ability to blend humor, warmth, and emotional depth into her performances. In 1951, Charlotte Rae married John Strauss, a talented musician and composer. Their marriage took place during a period when both of them were developing their own careers in the entertainment industry.
I'm a big believer in change. I think you have to shake up your life once in a while and want in my own business, a chance to be more creative. I also want...
Together, they raised 2 sons and shared more than 2 decades of family life, a period that lasted far longer than many relationships within the entertainment world. However, after many years together, their marriage entered a period of major change. John Strauss opened up to Rae about personal matters he had kept private for years, causing her to view their relationship from a different perspective. It was a difficult moment for the actress, as it not only affected their present, but also led her to reflect on the many years they had spent together. In 1976, Charlotte Rae and John Strauss officially ended their marriage. Even so, she never allowed that experience to diminish her passion for the arts. Rae went on to achieve even greater success in television and became one of the most beloved performers of her generation. Looking back on Charlotte Rae's life, her story was not only about a marriage that changed over time. It was also the journey of a woman who learned to adapt, continued to grow, and discovered her own strength and purpose after facing major changes in her personal life. During the golden era of Hollywood, Rock Hudson was one of the most admired leading men in the film industry. With his elegant appearance, charming presence, and a series of romantic roles, he became the type of movie star that studios wanted to create during the 1950s. Phyllis Gates entered Rock Hudson's life not as a famous actress, but as someone who worked in artist management and provided support behind the scenes. She was once the secretary of talent agent Henry Wilson, who played an important role in Hudson's career. The two met within the Hollywood environment and married in 1955. At the time, their marriage attracted considerable attention from the media. Rock Hudson was at the peak of his career, while Phyllis Gates became the partner of one of America's leading movie stars. To the public, they represented the image of a young and successful couple living a glamorous Hollywood life.
Look, I am in a hurry, Mr. Allen, so if you don't mind.
Of course. But before you hang up...
About what?
Your Western gentleman. He turned out to be a prairie wolf, didn't he?
However, many years later, this marriage was viewed differently as society's understanding and perspectives continued to evolve. Information about Rock Hudson's private life led many people to question the circumstances surrounding their relationship. Phyllis Gates maintained that she entered the marriage with genuine feelings and that she was not aware of every aspect of her husband's personal life. The marriage ended in 1958 after approximately 3 years. Following their divorce, both Rock Hudson and Phyllis Gates continued on their own separate paths. Hudson continued to maintain a successful career for many decades, while Gates chose to live a more private life. The story of Phyllis Gates and Rock Hudson reflects a unique period in Hollywood history when fame, public image, and personal life were often closely connected in complicated ways. It was not simply the story of a famous marriage, but also a glimpse into the pressures that many people in the entertainment industry experienced during that era. Each story featured in today's video offers a different perspective on the people who once lived under the bright lights of Hollywood. We would love to hear your thoughts about the journey of Phyllis Gates and Rock Hudson. Share your opinions in the comments below, and if you enjoy historical stories about entertainment icons, support our channel by giving this video a like, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you can continue exploring more fascinating stories with us. For many decades, Martha Raye was one of America's most versatile entertainers. She was widely known for her talents in comedy singing and stage performances. Beyond her appearances on television programs, Raye was also remembered by generations of audiences for her many performances supporting American troops during different periods of history. After a long and successful career, Martha Raye entered the later years of her life facing significant changes in her health and personal circumstances. In 1991, at the age of 75, she married Mark Harris, a much younger event organizer.
We all knew you were going to become a big star.
Really? What made you think so?
Witty. And you had it carved on your dressing room door.
The marriage quickly attracted public attention because of the significant age difference and the different life circumstances between the two. Some members of Raye's family expressed concerns regarding her personal decisions, especially as her health had declined after facing several medical challenges. However, there were also different perspectives suggesting that Mark Harris spent time caring for and supporting Martha Raye during the final years of her life. As a result, their relationship became a story viewed in various ways, with opinions often depending on each person's perspective. Martha Raye passed away in 1994, leaving behind a remarkable career that spanned more than half a century. Although her final marriage attracted considerable discussion, what audiences remember most about Raye is her talent, sense of humor, and lasting contributions to American entertainment. Martha Raye's story shows that even the greatest icons must face the changes that come with age, health challenges, and the human desire to find companionship and support throughout life. During the early years of Hollywood, when the film industry was still developing its identity and influence, Janet Gaynor became one of the most important figures on the screen. She was the first actress in history to win the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1929, marking a significant milestone in the early era of American cinema. Beyond her acting talent, Janet Gaynor was also regarded as a symbol of elegance and the classic image of a Hollywood star during the early days of the industry. In 1939, she married Gilbert Adrian, the legendary costume designer for MGM, who was responsible for many of the most memorable outfits in film history, including the iconic designs featured in The Wizard of Oz. The relationship between Gaynor and Adrian was different from many other high-profile Hollywood marriages of that era. Both were successful artists in their own fields and shared a deep understanding of the creative world. Together, they built a family life, welcomed a son, and became a respected couple within Hollywood's artistic community. During that era, the personal lives of Hollywood stars were often closely followed by the media. As a result, many performers had to find ways to balance their private lives with the public image they maintained. For Gaynor and Adrian, their relationship was built on companionship, friendship, and mutual respect throughout many years together. Gilbert Adrian passed away in 1959, bringing an end to their marriage of nearly 2 decades. Afterward, Janet Gaynor continued to be remembered as one of the pioneers of American cinema, a performer who helped shape the image of the leading actress during Hollywood's early years. The story of Janet Gaynor and Gilbert Adrian shows that behind the glamour of the entertainment industry, not every relationship is defined by controversy or public attention. Sometimes it is simply the journey of two artists who shared a passion, supported one another, and created a memorable chapter in Hollywood history. Before becoming a television legend through her role as amateur detective Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury was a young actress who had just entered Hollywood with great hopes, but also faced many challenges. Born in England and moving to the United States at a young age, she quickly attracted attention because of her exceptional acting talent. In 1945, at only 19 years old, Angela Lansbury married actor Richard Cromwell. At the time, Lansbury had just begun making her mark in Hollywood with the film Gaslight, a performance that earned her an Academy Award nomination for her debut role. Meanwhile, Cromwell was an experienced actor who had already established a presence in the film industry. For Lansbury at that time, Cromwell represented maturity and stability in a Hollywood environment that was still unfamiliar to a young actress. However, their marriage lasted for only a short period of time. Less than a year after they married, Cromwell ended the relationship, leaving Lansbury with an unforgettable experience during the early years of her adulthood. Many years later, Angela Lansbury reflected that being so young at the time, she did not yet have enough life experience to fully understand the complexities of her partner's personal world.
But as I've always said, you know, when you're, which is really riding the crest, you can't walk away. It's very...
However, rather than allowing the past to become a burden, she chose to view it as a meaningful part of her personal journey and growth. After her first marriage, Lansbury continued to build her career and became one of the most successful entertainers in American history. She achieved remarkable success in film, television, and theater while earning the respect and admiration of generations of audiences.
It's never been very far away from me. It will be remembered involved with. Well, you know, a cartoon movie is
The story of Angela Lansbury and Richard Cromwell was not just a brief chapter in the actress's life, but also a reflection of how someone can overcome unexpected changes and continue building a remarkable journey. From a young actress in Hollywood during the 1940s, Lansbury went on to become a symbol of resilience, talent, and professionalism in the world of entertainment. Hollywood has always been filled with stories that go far beyond what audiences see on screen. Through these famous marriages, we not only revisit the past of legendary stars, but also gain a deeper understanding of the pressures, changes, and personal choices that existed behind their fame. Each individual had a unique journey and left an unforgettable mark on the history of entertainment. Which story surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy authentic Hollywood stories, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming episodes.